Welcome to Attican Plays Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. All right, hi, this is Attican, and welcome to Series 4, Episode 37 of Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. And last episode, we did a little work right in here, put in some more amenities for these people, kind of worked on getting a little more production out of these two plants right here. And that had an interesting effect on me. I'll talk about that in a minute. But first, I want to start with some comments that you guys have left. Adam mentioned he thought that we likely need another bus for this route right here. The route where the folks for plastic and mechanical components go over here as passengers to go downtown, because we're getting some error messages like two couldn't get food, meat and food. It kind of says they can't get meat and food. It says they can't get down here fast enough because we certainly have it available. We have it in abundance in our shopping center. We have plenty of sellers. We have, there's a bus stop right here, right across the street. So that should be no problem. So the question is, are we getting fast enough frequency from our buses? Because the whole key with getting passengers or workers or even students for that matter is making sure that you're getting a vehicle in there every hour is really what it comes down to. So we've got this set up for passengers only. We've got 16 waiting right now. Let's go find the first one. Here's a person that's been waiting for 8 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to run this on fast forward. They're not going to take very long to get out of there. He should be on a bus. He is, okay. And there's another bus coming in, so I'm going to wait till after that bus. Okay, well, there's another bus coming, flying in here. I don't know if this is our problem. Okay, here we go. Let's find the person who's been here the longest. 4 minutes. And here comes a bus. No, that's not our problem. Okay. Now that could have been our problem at the very beginning when the route was being set up, and these people could have had a problem very early on. And I've said this before, I really wish we could click on the 5 citizens here and get it pared down and see those citizens, the ones who couldn't get food, who couldn't get meat. I would love to be able to see this. Now we know that the church problem, that's the problem we want, because that's the one right now until we can, by the way, do something about that. But for now, we're not going to do anything about it, because if that's the only problem we have, we're in great shape. These people will be very, very happy to see this, and we're cool. So, yeah, Adam, that was a good thought, but I don't think it's true with these nice fast buses. And that goes back to what I've said before about how I like to run the medium-sized fast buses, because you get higher frequency. They just get where they're going and back faster, and that's what you really need. You know, if we were running one big bus that could take a whole bunch of people and it was slow, by the time it got over there and back, a whole bunch of people would time out. So anyway, we beat that one to death. All right. So another comment is Questlove suggested WD-40. And for those of you who don't know what he's talking about, here, listen. That's what he's talking about. It's my infamous squeaky chair. I don't know what to tell you. My YouTube channel just isn't big enough for me to be able to afford a better chair, so that squeak is just going to have to be part of the deal, because Questlove, I've tried WD-40. I've tried about everything, and nothing works. So thanks for the thought anyway. All right, let's move on here. Adam also said, how about distributing fuel? Are we really doing that? And the answer is yes, absolutely, and no, we're not. And what I mean is, up here near the refinery, we're absolutely distributing the fuel. We have trucks that are picking up fuel from these two tanks, one or the other, and going to our various spots. So like right there is an example. That truck right there is putting fuel in this diesel station, and notice we're importing only a small amount of how much are we? we're importing like 30 tons, but it's got 150 tons because this truck keeps it filled up, and it just keeps unloading till it's empty, and then it goes and gets some more. And that's happening here and here. That's happening here and here, and it's even happening way out here with this one and with this one. We have, and this one. Is that one up there? Yeah, that one up there. And so we have, so we are distributing our fuel up here near the refinery. Now, what we're not doing, I've tested it and we could do it, and I may just change it and start doing it, is, for example, down here at this fueling station. See, it only imports to 30. It never gets higher than that. So what we can do is actually repurpose one of our fuel trains, well, actually the train that delivers fuel, and have it run a route where it drops off at these spots. So we could have it drop off here, and we could have it drop off where's the other ones? Over here at this one. We will not have it drop off at this one because I don't have room to put a roundabout in there, and without the roundabout, it'll go in there and get stuck. We know what happens with that, so we're not going there. And then the other one we've got that we could have the train go to is right here, to this one and our new one that we just put in. Didn't we put one in down here, I thought? Where is it? Right here. So there's one, two, there's three that we could have our fuel train deliver to. And in case you're wondering what in the world's he talking about, those diesel train stations can actually be stops. I don't think you can program them to say go get your fuel there, but well, you know what, you probably could. You probably could. And here I've been playing with this. See this diesel train station? I actually played with it to see if it would work. And it does. So why don't we just add... Now these two, these POHADS ones are already being serviced by trucks. So they're doing just fine. So we're going to take these two out. They were just my experiment to make sure this would work. And what we're going to do now is say, after you go here, why don't you go way down here. Go down here. Add this guy, that diesel station. And then what we want you to do at that diesel station is unload fuel. And don't wait till you're empty, of course. Just top that puppy off. And then after that, you can go to our other one down here, right there. And you can top off the Nashville diesel station. Then you can export at Molda. Then in your other side of your run, it kind of does two runs. It does a eastern export and a western. So on your western run, you can go here, and right after that, you can go over here to these two. Why don't you just go down here to the farm one first? Go all the way down here and unload fuel. In other words, top that one off. Then come up here to this one. And did I get that in the right spot? Ah, shoot. Jowl. Ah, crap. I screwed it. Okay, well, we can go to, let's see, you load. You can go to this one first. That's okay. It doesn't matter. It's one or the other. we want you to that's the problem. It's really hard to tell which one you're actually working on. Unload there, then go to this Vraska diesel station. Don't load. We want you to unload. Unload fuel, and then you can do your, if you got anything left. There, okay. Pick up fuel. Go to Molka diesel. Go to Nashville diesel, then export. Then pick up fuel. Go to the Javo diesel. Go to the Vraska diesel, then export. Perfect. Okay, well, perfect's a strong word. But that should work. All right, so thank you, Adam, for that. And it actually, I mean, it's a lot of running around, but at the same time, the value is actually greater for saving the fuel imports than it is on the exports of the fuel. You actually save more money because the import cost is greater than the export value. All right, so we got distributing fuel. What else? Three-foot steam railway suggested something that, yes, I have been planning in the back of my head all along, which is, if it works, it's a little, the land's a little iffy. Maybe not. Put a farm in here to serve this guy so that we're getting crops in there. I don't know. Got a lot of railroad track taking up space. It would be a whole bunch of little fields. It might work. We'll come back to that one later. All right. And then Matthew said, down here in our construction area, which is where I want to spend most of the time today, in our construction area, if I can find it, here. Okay, you can see I've been busy. All right, I got to turn this around the way I've been looking at it, or I'll be very confused. Okay, so this over here is what we worked on last time, kind of redesigning a little bit of this, taking out the asphalt and concrete and getting some stuff going. And you notice we've got boards and steel coming in up here by train now. And so we've got boards and steel. Eventually we'll have coal and cement and prefab panels and gravel. Lots of good stuff. And I kept hesitating to put this in. Well, anyway, Matthew said I need more dumpers and dozers to get those gravel roads built faster. Yes, that's true. Let me keep this running till daytime. Well, actually, no, I want to show you this at night. It's easier to see, believe it or not, at night. In fact, I built most of it at night, or planned it out. I've been hesitating to put this in, the staffing we need for this, because it just seemed like boring, more of the same stuff. But that little experience up there in Virov, fixing that food and clothing so that it would work a little better, made me realize a couple of things. First of all, when we did that, I got to go back up there and look at it, show you what I'm talking about. I really do need a sense of direction, don't I? Okay. All right, so when we did this area over here and put in the store and stuff, I said, well, we're getting more use out of this. Not really. All we did was create another place for this stuff to go. We haven't necessarily created more demand. And what's going to happen is this thing is going to get full again, and it's going to fill this up, and it's going to shut down again. That's awful, isn't it? Well, no, actually, no, it isn't. So let me show you how we're going to use that to our advantage. We're going to go over here to an area that I have now named Jedva Devolzhno. And you picked that name for two reasons. I like the way it sounds, Jedva Devolzhno. And secondly, it's Serbian, or is that right? Yeah, Serbian, Cyrillic Serbian, Latin Serbian for barely enough. And that's the tactic we're going to take here. This is the barely enough strategy. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a downtown similar to what we normally have. I want you to notice a couple of things though, lessons learned. See all these bus stations, bus stops? I built bus stops in, even if I'm not going to use them. I want them ready to go, and you'll see how it'll be helpful to have more than one or two down here as we go along. But the barely enough concept goes like this. What we want to do is have this city be self-sufficient for its citizens. So all the things that citizens need, we want this city to create them. But we also don't want to have a big, expensive infrastructure with transportation and trains running out into the country to a food factory and all that stuff. So what we're going to do is set up these factories right downtown. We're going to have a shopping center connected to a warehouse, connected to a food factory on one connection, and a clothing factory on the other. Clothing's going to be connected to fabrics. The food is connected to a silo, which is connected to a road depot. Over here on this side, the fabrics is connected to a silo, connected to a road depot. We've got a bus stop here to bring people over there to work. We've got our asphalt and concrete over here in the city where we can get workers for it. And I have added, by the way, a couple more construction offices to help with the work mostly over here. And I went ahead and, of course, auto-built the basic fundamentals, shopping center, hospital, cinema, and pub, and some three flats and school, kindergarten, and playgrounds just to get them going. And then started on the same process over here. Now the idea is that there will be 5 flats right here, and that's all we're going to need to staff all of this. And again, remember this name, Jedva Devolzhno, barely enough. So when we're using barely enough as our approach, we're going to we're going to create enough food, enough clothing, enough fabrics for the clothing, enough alcohol for the pub, and that's it. That's all we're going to make. So that's should control our pollution, because these factories are going to be idle quite a bit. This is tough for me. This is the opposite of how I would play any game, but we're going to try this because I think it'll give us a self-sufficient area that we can grow and add more stuff into this train station here to bring more people into this shopping area, and have just sort of this nice like automated system for giving them what they need. And all we'll need really to give the supplies would be a nice big old agro farm loading into these silos that we've seen, and like that one, and some chemicals brought in by train. So we'll set up a place to unload some chemicals and have them trucked over to our fabric shop. And folks, we're in good shape. So we're going to try the barely enough approach here, the Jedva Devolzhno approach. And the other thing we've got set up, of course, here is we've got these 6 flats up here will have their own school, kindergarten, and playgrounds. Schools, kindergartens, and playgrounds, but they will. There's a bus stop up here with a bus line going downtown to one of these bus stops. This one actually, that can drop these people off downtown so they can do their shopping. They're going to do their work primarily, some supporting these things, and the rest, bulk, will go here to work and take the train out here, and they will work in our factories making our construction materials. So that's kind of the plan for how this is going to work. I really do need some more dumpers and dozers to get these roads built. But other than that, I've kind of just let it run on auto. I pre-built what I called the habitation roads, the roads that we needed to be able to get to the stuff that the people who are going to live here early on need in order to stay happy. And let's just see how that's going. And you can see it's going pretty well, right? And look at all these error messages. These are old. I wish there was a way to know how old, because look at our happiness here. There's no way these people are 100% happy See, look at that. There's no way that we're getting all these errors now. Those have to be old errors when these people first come in. And I used Get Citizens, so our cost of staffing was zero. Our immigration costs were zero, which is great. And now we're getting more and more construction. We've got the steel coming in from our steel mill and the boards from Artis Gilmore. So I've got those being trucked over here to this little storage, and I've got all the construction offices going here to get their goods, so that we've got plenty of steel, plenty of boards, and we're not importing them. And our import setup is just for the prefab panels and bricks. And of course, as we get those industries up and running, we'll turn that off as well. So we're doing our construction from our own construction materials, of course. All right, so that's the idea. These guys can all. I like all the little redundant bus stops for the future, because what I'm thinking is, like, right now you'll notice there's no college set up. Now we could run a big long line somewhere, which not in favor of. Maybe no. No, we won't be doing that. We will give them something. My plan is another headquarters of the Communist Party, because you can't have too many headquarters. And I'm probably going to put it out here as a module and put it in with some supporting, not just enough flats to house it or to staff it, plus some support stuff for those houses. And then a bus platform out here that'll run in. And now this is the whole point of having these multiple stations. I can run the buses from over here, University, into a separate bus stop, and now we won't have a lot of traffic at this one, and we can say use this one. And then if we build a third module to do something else or to support another industry or whatever, we can run them into here and have easy access to all our downtown stuff. And I tried to do better. You have Jenny and, oh gosh, I've forgotten the name. The two of you have been after me to build more like spider web pathing. I've tried to do a little better with that, but I definitely everything's walkable, and like I said, I'm trying to do a little bit better job of putting more and more paths in to make sure people can get quickly where they need to go. And what else? Here we can see. Look at this. Look at this. We're actually building stuff. All they need is steel, and we've got the steel. All right, so I might even throw in another construction office with some road construction stuff just to speed this along, because I've got asphalt roads planned all over the place. So we've just had a whole bunch of trucks come in here and grab asphalt and take off just a little bit ago. So it's all working, and I don't think I'm going to let it run in. I think I'm going to stop right here. I'm pretty happy with this, and I'll be very interested in seeing how it works out with our Jedva Dvolzhno, our barely enough approach. So I hope you'll come back and check it out. On the next one, we'll see how it's done. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it'll help you become a better player, and I hope you'll join us for our next Workers and Resources Soviet Republic video. Thank you.